WWE Extreme Rules is happening this Saturday, and I am going to give you my preview and predictions in this video. Should be good, I hope. Let's go. We have 6 matches on the card, and I'm going to start by talking about the Brawling Brutes going up against Imperium in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Now, we have only seen one of these in WWE history just a few months ago with Drew McIntyre going up against Sheamus. It's basically an Irish or a European street fight. That's the best way I could put it. But this is one of the best feuds that SmackDown has going. You have the dynamics with Sheamus going up against GUNTHER for the Intercontinental Championship, which will happen tomorrow night as of the time I'm recording this video, and hopefully the time I get this out. On SmackDown on the season premiere, you have the Brawling Brutes and Imperium, who have been going up against each other every single week since Sheamus became number 1 contender to the IC title. So, in my opinion, I actually think Imperium might get the win. Yes, to Sheamus's wheelhouse because he introduced the match to start with, and it was kind of wacky with all those Irish flags that were turned up to look like our neighbor Ivory Coast's flag. I'm Ghanaian, so. And then, you know, you had Giovanni Vinci returning to Imperium at Clash at the Castle from NXT. You had all those dynamics. So, to me, I'm going to give the win to Imperium. Then we have a ladder match for the Raw Women's Championship featuring Bianca Belair going up against Bayley. This has been interesting, to say the least. A lot of people have mentioned that this feud is lacking something. Now, where this started was Bayley returning at SummerSlam after Bianca Belair defeated Becky Lynch in that banger of a match to open SummerSlam a few months ago. Now, you know, the dynamics with Damage Control, Asuka and Alexa Bliss on the side of Bianca, all of those things playing out. It does look like they're setting up for War Games, which is happening towards the end of next month, November. However, if you ask me, it does seem very highly possible, very highly, that's weird English, but it's very possible in my estimation that Bayley would actually pick up the win, and then all of Damage Control would have titles. You have Bayley as Raw Women's Champion, and you have Dakota Kai and Io Sky as a tag team champions, who, mind you, I have not seen too much ever since they won the titles, but I guess we are building something for them. Be that as it may, I do think it's a great way to establish a huge story between Bayley and, you know, Bianca. I do see this going to the Royal Rumble where Bianca might get the title back, but yes, I am going to go ahead and pick Bayley to win the Raw Women's Championship in this match. And then we have a strap match featuring Drew McIntyre going up against Karrion Kross. Now, this is going to be brutal. You are probably going to think Sheamus would be involved in this match, given I can almost see Drew McIntyre getting welts on his back. I can almost see it. I can equally see somewhat of the same thing for Karrion. But in terms of who I think is going to win the match, I mean, I'm going to give the win to Karrion because, well, if you really think about it, we do need to build stars constantly. Karrion winning would definitely elevate him to some extent. Drew losing really wouldn't do much for him, you know. He has brought the intensity that the feud needs, you know. It's been believable, it's been amazing seeing that these men have just told a story. Now, I think that Scarlett is going to get involved in some capacity. You know, she threw the fireball that totally missed Drew the other time with SmackDown. But be that as it may, I really do think that this will set Karrion up in going towards Roman Reigns' undisputed Universal titles. But yes, I'm going to give the win to Karrion Kross because I think he needs it more. We have an I Quit match featuring Edge going up against Finn Balor. Of course, this all links to the Judgment Day storyline that really started at WrestleMania. And yes, we have the two men who a lot of people have been clamoring to have a feud since Edge returned back to WWE. I personally think Finn Balor will win. I think that Judgment Day is going to beat him in submission. I think a number of things will happen. I actually think that AJ Styles might join Judgment Day, and that's going to shock the living crap out of everyone. This also might be the match where Bray Wyatt returns, but I will get to that. I do say this because the poster the promotional graphic for this match is clearly very different from all the others. I don't know if it's a way of updating or whatever it is, but it's the only colored one where you can actually see the proper details. Now, when the picture was all green and sort of white, I thought that what looked like fireflies was actually paint splotches. But now with the colored version, with the red intertwined into the whole background graphic, you kind of see that, yes, those are fireflies above the trash can. So in my opinion, I think Finn Balor is going to win. I think Edge may not actually say I quit, he might just pass out and not even say it at all. But yes, I'm going to give the win to Finn Balor in this respect. Then we have an Extreme Rules match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's Liv Morgan defending against Ronda Rousey. And this is going to be a pretty hot take. But I think Liv Morgan is going to win. And the reason I say this is the Extreme Rules setting sort of gives her a way to win. I have heard reports now recently, and this is what I mean to allude to, I'm all over the place right now. I have heard reports that there is going to be a match definitely between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, and Ronda is not going to have the title. So I think Liv will retain, because I think the process of being champion alone, you know, Ronda is a mom, Liv is sort of coming into her own. Admittedly, the reign hasn't been what a lot of people might have thought it would be, because the fans kind of turned on Liv midway, you know, and she's starting to get back to, you know, where she used to be. I do think Liv can be a little cringe, admittedly, you know, but, you know, being a performer is hard, so I kind of get it. Most of us would probably do a much worse job at that. Now, that being said, I do think that I think Liv is going to retain, and I think it will really be because of some interference from Shayna Baszler. You know, we are kind of yet to tell that story, you know, because Ronda said Shayna wasn't being a killer. You know, there's all that going on. So I do think that Shayna is going to have some effect, which will allow Liv to retain the championship. The fan reception will be very interesting, but yes, I'm going to give that Liv. I can't believe I said that. I'm going to give the win to Liv Morgan in this respect. And then we have the fight pit match between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins, with Daniel Cormier, the UFC legend, serving as the special guest referee. Now, the fact that Daniel Cormier is in this alone is massive. You know, the fight pits have usually always had some special element to it. Now, there have been two of them previously in NXT. Tommaso Ciampa faced Timothy Thatcher in, I think, the first one or the second one, I'm not quite sure, but one of them featured those two men. And then you had Riddle taking on Thatcher, and yes, Thatcher I think won both of those matches. But yeah, Kurt Angle was actually the special guest referee in the one that had Riddle involved. Now, if you have not seen a fight pit match, definitely go watch it. But yes, you can't escape the cage, else you lose the match. Everything has to be done in the ring. There are no ropes. It's a steel cage, Hell in a Cell mix sort of thing, UFC, all of that. So yes, the story has been incredibly personal. Of course, Seth Rollins has made mention of the fact that that face-to-face segment with Riddle was actually inspired by DC's interaction with John Jones somewhere back in, I think, 2014 or something like that. They had a similar face-to-face encounter and some things were said. So that's what a lot of it was based off of. Now, that being said, I do think Daniel Cormier might get involved in some respect. And I don't know why, but here's the curveball. He and Seth are actually friends. Seth has mentioned that Daniel Cormier is a fan of his. They're actually friends from what I've heard. And it was actually Seth's idea to get DC to referee this match. Somehow they managed to work it out. So far, things I've heard. But I do believe that Matt Riddle will walk away with the win. It would only make perfect sense. You know, Seth is challenging Bobby Lashley for the US title next Monday on Raw, on the season premiere. So there's just so many different elements to this story that I see playing out, but it would make the most sense if Riddle won. We establish him, he moves forward, and yeah, I don't know if this will main event the show, but yes, I'm going to go with Matt Riddle winning this match. And yes, the big question, does Bray Wyatt return at Extreme Rules? If he doesn't, I would be incredibly surprised. You know, I haven't gone too much into the whole theory of, you know, is he coming back, this, that. I haven't made a video about it, even though I really wanted to. But the thing for me is it's been so meticulously planned. It's been obvious to me from day one, you know, from the Hangman game where it was like who killed the world, and then it was like you did, and that font on, you know, for the you did matched a Bray Wyatt merch t-shirt font from so far away. I think when he was the Eater of Worlds or something like that. But I do think it will be a different character. I don't think it will be the Fiend. I would not be surprised if it is the Fiend, but I would not be surprised if it's a completely different character. Bray Wyatt's a very creative guy. You know, the Fiend was a very difficult character to work around. Seth Rollins has said that himself. You know, so yes, I do think Bray Wyatt is returning in person, because there have also been reports that evidently no one knows if it's going to be a physical presence or if it's going to be a video screen something. But yes, I do believe Bray Wyatt is finally making that long-awaited, anticipated return to WWE, and I am excited. I'm willing to see what happens. Catch Extreme Rules this Saturday, 8/7 Eastern if you're in the US. If you are in Ghana or West Africa, 12 a.m. show starts. I'm hoping to do a live stream on that day. We'll see how that turns out. If I don't worry, I will always have a after show or a review show for that. I'll do that regardless of whether I do the live stream or not. But yes, comment down below, let me know what you think. Let me know which match you're looking forward to this to the most. I'm sorry, I'm tired. And check out this video, that YouTube things that you will enjoy from my channel. Of course, do subscribe, and I will see you in another one. Peace, my G's.